Hey, good morning. Don't make me ask the same question to somebody new. Stay around, hang around. Good July 3rd morning. It is Thursday. My name is Sean Murphy. I'll be your host. This is for all of the live on YouTube friends and family. Six-time number one best-selling author, international speaker and trainer. Now living on a ranch, being a shepherd and a groundskeeper. Today's conversation is going to be about leadership and being able to operate from your signal of leadership. A lot of times we're put into a place of leadership where it's because we were first, because we were the one that arrived early, showed up early, the one that because we've got 5 minutes more experience than somebody else. That's not leadership. Your leadership was inside of you long before you decided to move into any project, any system, any program, any income producing activity. Your leadership signal already exists. Now, could you tune it? Could you turn it up? Could you crank it up? Sure. So understanding what leadership is, it's not management. It's not presence. Leadership is a signal. It's not presence. We talk about being present all the time. That's being a good listener. Leadership is a signal. That's what it is. There's something about them, right? That's the thing that they say. There's just something about them. I don't know. They walk into a room that command attention. That's leadership, right? Reputation is what they say about you after you leave the room. You cannot have a reputation if nobody's encountered you. And so leadership is not granted by title, right? Upline doesn't grant you leadership. Super duper grand poobah gold platinum Scooby Dooby Doo leadership rank does not grant you leadership. Leadership is not granted by title. It is received by others based on perceived signal strength and signal coherence. Right? Signal strength and signal coherence. Coherence is when something meshes and is in alignment with another thing. You can be the one doing a presentation. You could be the one presenting to people, in charge of the meeting. It doesn't grant you leadership. Even if you say, well, I'll be leading this meeting, you're just guiding it. You're really not. Sometimes you're leading it. Sometimes it's the quietest person. You know what leadership is? If somebody brings a sleeping baby into a room and everybody goes, oh, that's leadership. They're like, what do you care about me? I'm sleeping, right? So credible signal. You may want to put this down. You may want to write this down so that you can work on this. This is something to understand. Credible signal plus clean frame. We talk about framing things, right? What is the frame you will have around this window of opportunity? Frame isn't around the mirror. The mirror is showing them where they're at. The frame is around the window of what you're going to show them. What is the frame that you are going to have a conversation within? Is it about their wealth, about their health, about their finances, about their legacy, about the challenges is sometimes we have too many frames, too many pictures that we're talking to somebody about that they can't even see the picture and they don't understand the frame. Okay. So there's parts of it. So here's what leadership equals. Credible signal. Do you know what you're talking about? Plus clean frame plus reputation without collapse equals leadership. That's big. Reputation without collapse. What does that mean? Does it mean that you're you have integrity? Is there integrity in your reputation? Are you consistent with who you are, with how you show up? So hang on. Components of leadership signal. Credible signal, right? Here's the credible signal. Do you know why? Have you ever, let me ask you this, have you ever been on social media and seen somebody who has 20,000, 30,000 followers? And when you watch their videos, you're like, good stuff, great content. I don't know about the rest of it. There's somebody who's given you marriage advice and they've been divorced 5 times. What? Somebody who's telling you how to lose weight and they're 70 pounds overweight. Credible signal is clarity and proof. A credible signal is clarity and proof. If somebody it gets into your vibration, is it a clear signal? Do they understand what it is? Do you present the proof? You don't have to present the proof. It already presents itself. What's the proof you have? What's the way your body is? What are the unspoken, the unseen, the micro expressions of you? People follow you when, listen carefully, this is how you all have leadership, by the way. Some of you are going, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to do leadership now. Hang on. You've been somewhere they want to go. People follow when they sense you've been somewhere where they want to go. You can see what they can't see yet. You move cleanly without emotional drag or mental contradiction. If in a conversation, the words, I don't know, come out of your mouth a lot, I don't care how clean a leadership you are, how confident a signal you have. If you say the words, I don't know, that is mental contradiction. You are there to lead. You need to know. And it is your responsibility to them to not instill the I don't know syndrome inside of them. So people follow when they sense you've been somewhere they want to go. Have you been somewhere they don't want to go? Well, the challenge is, here's the challenge. We base that one statement when we do side hustles. The clarity, the benchmark of I want to go where you've been is how much money have you made? That's a default mechanism. Money doesn't make you happy. They did studies at Harvard, right? Sean Aker, the author of The Happiness Factor. They did studies, pretty intense studies, and they found out that people who had money were happy before they had the money. Literally the law of attraction. Money didn't make you happy. Happy made you happy. Having money didn't get you happy. Being happy got you money. Being in a good state, because in this world, Zig Ziglar says, you get paid by how much value you bring to the marketplace. What do people value most? What's the most important sound to someone? The sound of their own name. Do you use somebody's name when you have a dialogue with them? Do you remember people's names? That's cash in the bank, remembering people's names. So this idea of what is value and do you bring it? Nobody cares about my sheep. They really don't. They don't care that I have 11 amazing sheep. They don't care that one was born without a tail. Unless it's valuable. And what makes it valuable is the way it makes them feel if I tell the story in the right place at the right time, in the right moment, with the right permission. Just saying. So they want to be seen that you've been somewhere they want to go. Number two, you can see what they can't see. That's the definition of a mentor. And it's not you can see where they've not been. That's easy. My interpretation of you can see what they can't see is you can see in them something they can't see in themselves. That's leadership. It's easy for me to tell you about some new trees that are starting to grow on the ranch. You've never seen them. You've never seen them. Well, then that's me being egotistical. That's me inflating my value, inflating it because I have more trees than you. That's not valuable to you. What can you see in others that they can't see in themselves? And then number four, you move cleanly without emotional drag. Some of us have some pretty heavy baggage we still carry around. Just saying. Leadership doesn't demand belief. Listen carefully. This one I would encourage you to write down. Leadership does not demand belief. I don't need you to believe it to be a good leader. It emits certainty, grounded in motion. That's the one where most people fall right off the cliff. Leadership doesn't demand belief. I don't need you to believe. In order for you to see the leadership in me, my leadership emits certainty and grounded in motion, in action, in the doing. Do you do leadership action steps? Do you do leadership as it relates to your wellness? Do you hydrate? Do you walk? Do you take nutritionals, supplementation? Do you get good sleep? Good sleep is leader. If you wake up tired and groggy, I didn't get any sleep last night. Who should follow you if you're not taking care of you? Even if you know you had to stay up late to finish a project, nobody wants to be around somebody who's tired. Why? Because they're already tired. And when you show up tired, they're like, oh, I'm so tired too. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. And the two of you are in a tired bucket. Okay, so that's credible signal. Clean frame, clean frame. Clean frame is the self-structure. Your thinking is internally aligned. How many of you have ever been around somebody who you know for a fact that the words they're saying are not the words they're believing because their body is out of alignment? Does that make sense? How many of you know that the words somebody says, they're not coming across as the reality of who they really are? So is your thinking aligned internally? This is the clean frame version. This is the clean frame part of what is leadership. Number two is your values don't wobble under pressure. That's a big one. Your values don't wobble under pressure. Here's how it was explained to me, or here's a statement that rings true in my head all the time. A dear friend of mine, Kyle Wilson, who was Jim Rohn's business partner for 18 years. Kyle was actually the marketing genius behind Jim Rohn International. And if you ever heard of Jim Rohn and weren't part of Herbalife, Kyle Wilson is the reason. Built a 1 million person email list before the internet. By the way, so this is a statement that Jim would say to him. Jim Rohn would say, never do a good deal with a bad man. See, you know these things when you go in. People know these things when they go in. It's usually the shortcut version of something. Oh man, if we just did this, we could go make a whole bunch of money. It doesn't normally work that way, Skippy. Oh, I know, but this is but that guy's been known to be a little bit of a crook in the past. Yeah, but not this time. I mean, this time I've looked at the stuff. It really seems like it's this one's, yeah, I know he's got a history. So here's a question. Do your values wobble under pressure? That changes your frame. You don't outsource your decision logic. Oof. That's a big one. That one we could do a whole day training on. You don't outsource your decision logic. How are your decisions made? What is your decision tree? How do you go from start to finish with your own rules, your own logic, your own model of success? Well, they're doing it, I'll do it. That's outsourcing your decision logic. These are all parts of leadership. So again, clean frame, your self structure. What does it look like? Your thinking is internally aligned. Your values don't wobble. Number 2. And number 3, you don't outsource your decision logic. If your internal frame is foggy, your external leadership signal is noisy. If your internal frame is foggy, your external leadership signal is noisy. And so here's reputation without collapse. You repeat a signal in tone, action, and behavior without becoming rigid or defensive. Somebody sends you back a message in DM and it ticks you off and you lose your shiitake. That's reputation without collapse. That's you not standing inside this belief you have, this understanding you have, this vision you're creating. You repeat the signal in tone, your tone. Oh, it's too much. It's too expensive. What do you mean it's too expensive? It's too, I don't have any money. Money for what? If somebody says to you in this business, I don't have any money, and you like, ugh, they're such a liar. They got a brand new iPhone and they just got a new car and blah, 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 blah. That's you. Your reputation signal collapses. You're not a leader. If you can be thrown off by, I don't have any money or I don't have any time, that's your signal. And here's the thing, it gets thrown off because that's your pattern. You know you're waiting for that objection. That's not an objection. That's somebody trying to figure out, have you done your homework? Have you done your homework on human nature? That's how they get out of the program. And number 2, reputation without collapse, is your message becomes trustable through consistency, not coercion. Your message becomes trustable through consistency, not coercion. When your signal doesn't collapse under doubt, people calibrate to it naturally. That's that. I can't explain it any easier, and I hope I can explain it. I hope I can do a good enough job to get that statement across to you. When your signal does not collapse under pressure, under doubt, people calibrate to your new signal. When you are solid and when you are at a particular frequency, they want to be at this level. They want what you got. Do people want what you got? And if you are saying, if your response is, they don't want what I have, I got nothing, I don't have anything, I got no money, I got no this, I got no time, I don't know, I know who would want what I got. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your signal. If I could just get you to believe in one thing, to comprehend one thing, to grab one thing, to take away a nugget of, oh my gosh, bonus, bonus, bonus. Do people want what you have? And the question is what do they have? What do they want from you that you have that doesn't take any effort? I can tell you this is going to sound very chauvinistic. If you're a female, they want your beauty, they want your image, they want your sensuality, they want your sexuality. That's the challenge in dealing in a man's world with your signal of you're beautiful. You're hot, you're sexy. You're a woman, you're hot, you're sexy. Period. End of story. You are. And that's also an incredible value you have. Your voice is softer, your voice is different. Your eyes see things differently. Your touch is different. That is a signal you cannot deny. Now, you can confuse it. You can make it that I don't want it to be, but that I'm a woman. I'm sorry. Sorry, Skippy. You're a woman. Guys, you're a guy. And if you're not leading, if you're I don't knowing, if you're collapsing, if you're whining about stuff, if you're complaining about stuff, that's not a guy signal. I'm sorry. It's just not. Do you look with clarity? Do you move with confidence? How is your posture? How is your tone? Do you use ums and ahs and do you cuss? Do you swear? Those are all signals. Do you do a lot of mansplaining? Why you're not where you want to be? That's a signal. Somebody comes to you. Do you help them find the solution, or are you always trying to fix things? The reason people sometimes don't want to hang around a guy signal is because anytime you talk to them, they want to fix it. Unless that's what you're known for. Does this make sense? So why people follow? People follow signal of capacity. How do I explain that? People follow not your style, they follow your signal of capacity. Do you have the capabilities to deal with adjusting situations and still have enough signal to deal with those situations? Not because you're shifting your signal to deal with it, the frames you want to present. Well, here's about money, here's about body, here's about what is the overall wellness picture you present? What is the overall business model you present? What is the big picture you present? If somebody joins your army, somebody joins you in lockstep, somebody gets excited with you, what's their 12-month vision? Where are you going to take them? Where are you going that they want to go that they've never been? Here's another thing why people follow you, not your style, not who you are, not how many followers you have on Instagram. They follow a signal of vision without ego. If I look at your conversations and you should be an optometrist, what the hell does that mean? If in your language, if I was to print out your script, if I was to print out your conversations, and very often I see I did this, I did that, I do this, I think that, I should this, you should do that. That's ego. Jim Rohn always ended his conversations with, before we leave today, I just want you to know this. I hope a little bit of me went with you today. I want you to know a little bit of you went with me today. Let's go do this. Let's go do this. Can you produce your signal without ego? They follow you, not your style. They follow your signal of emotional coherence under pressure. A lot of people are under pressure. You might even be under pressure. It's I hope you're under pressure. I hope you're under the pressure of expansion, not destruction. Somebody comes to you, they are expanding at a rate, and they're expanding into a place they've probably never, ever been. I've tried this before and it hasn't worked. If that is ever a part of somebody's thought process, I've tried this before. This is just like everything else. I don't know what's going to be different. I've done this. I know all of the things you're going to do with me. I've heard of a comp plan. I've heard of a particular tool that you're going to use to help my wellness get better, to help me detox, or this, that, or the other. Why is your foot bath better than my foot bath or any other foot bath I've ever used? All of this is this emotional coherence under pressure. They are under so much pressure to try to figure out how this is going to not kill me and how fast could I recognize the pattern. Do you realize you are a pattern disruptor and you create incoherence in somebody if they show up in your world? Your responsibility is to be responsible to them, not for them, is to maintain your signal while under pressure. And the pressure is them not believing you. The pressure is them not seeing what you see. And your pressure is to be able to explain it in a way calmly, collectively, and coolly so they can say, I want some of that. When someone sees you hold your signal while adopting and adapting to tension, they learn how to lead by observing your structure. Birds of a feather flock together. You're the average of the 5 people you hang around. If more people truly understood that, they'd be getting new friends right away. When someone sees you hold your signal while adapting to tension, and the tension is they're not where you're at. There's stress between every conversation you're about to go have if you are going to build your business, grow your marketplace, build your community. There is tension until they fall in love with your signal. When someone sees you hold your signal while adapting to tension, they learn how to lead by observing your structure. You don't become the frame. I'm sorry, you become the frame they don't have yet. You become the frame they don't have. The window they have doesn't have a frame. It's all over the place. When you offer them the mirror conversations of where you're at probably isn't where you want to be, it's required you also have the window for them to see out of that's past the mirror. The mirror is reflecting back to them. The window allows them to see over your shoulder and see your vision of where it's possible they can go. Do you see what they can't see yet? So how do you present the signal of leadership? Say less, mean more. Not mean like be mean. Say less, mean more. Compress meaning into clarity. We're here. We're moving there. This is why it matters. We're currently here. We're moving there through the window. This is why it matters. So here's what self-correction. Oh, my brain is resetting. Yawning doesn't mean you're tired. It means your brain's resetting. Now, you could be tired. If you just woke up in the morning and you're still yawning, there's a chance maybe you're still a little tired. But if you yawn during the day, there's a good chance you're doing something. Your brain needs a little bit of oxygen. So here's how you self-correct in public. Model your own feedback loop. What? This is what's called self-education. Model your own feedback loop. Show you can evolve in real time without losing structural integrity. That teaches more than advice. When somebody presents to you a new idea, a new concept, a new solution that maybe you've not implied yet, if you ever have ahas while talking to somebody, that's definitely the definition of a mastermind. When 2 minds get together, a third is always created. That third is always created. And if the 2 that gathered together are in harmony with wanting more and achieving more and arriving at a better solution, that mastermind mind that gets created is usually quite phenomenal in its delivery of aha awareness. So you can correct in public. You can correct in front of somebody. You can have, that's an interesting perspective. I like that. If somebody teaches you something, you go, wow, that gave me a visual of how to explain this better. That's growth. That's you evolving without losing your structure. That teaches more than advice. I love the way you're thinking. How could we do that more? Right? These are simple moments where you learn something from somebody. What do they say? Out of the mouth of babes, out of the mouth of children. Children say the darndest things. We can learn some great things with a childlike wonder. So invite challenge. This is a tough one for people. Invite challenge without flinching. Allow others to test your ideas, yet you get to hold the frame. Don't drop your frame. If you have certainty in your frame, if you have understanding in your frame, if you have confidence in your frame, and the frame is the way you believe things can go. You believe this is the way I'm going to go. This is the way that I've gone in the past, and it's brought tremendous value to people. See, if your frame is a compensation plan, that ain't your frame, because they can change that. If your frame are products and services, that's not your frame. Anything that is changeable without your permission is not your frame. I get in the Hummer. That's the frame I'm driving in. I get in Mason's Jeep. That's the frame I'm driving in. Do you think people, when they see a Hummer, an H2 on the road, or they see a Jeep on the road, they have different stories? Especially in a small town that I'm in, I think there's another Hummer. They live down in Conway, and every now and then they come up through here. But I'm pretty much the only Hummer in town. Do you think oh, there's that Hummer again? They don't say, oh, there's that Jeep again. But owning the Hummer shouldn't be my frame. I'm the driver. I'm the one inside. The way I move that vehicle, the way I move that frame that people see me in, is also part of my signal. But the Hummer is just, it's a piece to draw that draws attention. I didn't buy it. I've owned it for 25 years, 20 years now. So my point is that the things you operate in, when I do work in Latin America, and when executives would come down with me and we would go down into Latin America, if they had blonde hair, I told them, you may want to wear your hair up, or if you're okay with it, be prepared for a lot of people to want to take pictures with you because they love blonde hair. And don't be surprised if they kind of want to pull a strand of it, because they don't know anybody with blonde hair, and they will literally pull the hair out of their head, one little pluck at a time. It's the craziest thing. I think it's awesome. I'm glad I don't have blonde hair. So, can you show up with this idea of absolutely understanding your frame, inviting the challenge without flinch? I'm not afraid of pressure. I'm built to refine under it, kind of like a diamond, right? So number one, how do you present leadership? One, calm compression meaning say less, mean more. Number two, self-correction in public. Can you allow a feedback loop to teach you, and what you teach and how you show up teaches more than the advice you give? If you're doing more of the talking in a presentation, that's not leadership. That's presenting. But I have to tell them the story. I get it. But remember, they're having a dialogue in their head. And if their dialogue is to begin to defend where they're at, to defend their signal, that's not leadership. That's a fight. That's literally a fight. If you show up and somebody has a diseased body and they're showing up to you because they want to have a body that's filled with wellness, and you start an argument, well, I never start an argument. If you tell them that their disease can be fixed? They don't believe that. But why are they there then? You have to ask them, do they believe their disease can be remedied? Until they believe it, doesn't matter how much belief you have, how much evidence you have, how much confidence you have. Now you can show the confidence where you've worked with people just like that, and they show that's what testimonials do. If I talk about it, I'm bragging. If they talk about it, they're proving it works. So can you invite challenge without flinch? Allow others to test your ideas, yet hold the frame. I'm not afraid of pressure. I'm built to refine under it. That's the diamond. Number 4, move first when stakes are real. Signal that you you're just not talking leadership, you're living it. Act, take risk, decide publicly and with clarity. So do you act? Do you take risks? Sometimes people call it jumping from company to company. I can tell you, if you join one company and the company quits and you join another company, that wasn't your decision. That's called leadership. You decided to act fast and move quickly. So move first when stakes are real. And here's the close of the lesson. Leadership isn't about being followed, right? Too many people are out leading. They're out walking. They're out being in front of the crowd. The challenge is nobody is following. They're just out for a walk. Here's what real leadership is. It's not followers on Facebook or Instagram. Leadership is about becoming a signal that others can calibrate to and eventually transmit to others. I was talking with some dear friends down in Latin America. What's today? Thursday? On Monday. And we hadn't talked in probably a few months. And they said, we just had a company launch of a new product here in Panama. And every leader that got up spoke about you. Now, I haven't been with them on stage in 3 years. And she wanted to let me know how important it was that they were able to have same conversations. I thought it was a great honor. Let me put it that way. That people still talk about you and they use my lessons and teachings to still help train their teams and their corporation. So they could calibrate to it. They ain't like me. They're not 60 years old and living on a ranch. They ain't that. They're a psychographic that I absolutely love. And they've learned to be able to speak more from love. It was always in them. It was never not in them, especially Latinos. So every signal, your signal teaches even when you're not speaking. So how you live your life before the phone call and after the phone call and before the Zoom and after the Zoom is exactly the signal that's showing up in the world. You can't hide your signal with a good presentation and wonderful clothes. Even good language doesn't hide your signal. So, does that help? What'd you learn? What'd you like? What questions might you have for me on that? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Questions, comments, thoughts? AJ in the house, off to Serbia.
This is John Doe here because I'm out of my IDs and stuff. There are they are somewhere. They're definitely somewhere out there.
That's awesome.
This is great, man. This is exactly what I was talking about with a friend last night. We're off to Romania tomorrow. We're meeting a guy. So this guy, he comes from Dubai. He's Pakistani. Comes from Dubai. We're gonna have a conference regarding Forex. It's gonna be like this one day kind of seminar, kind of workshop. He's gonna do a meet and greet later on. And if we get lucky, I heard that sometimes he even does a dinner for a selected bunch. So we might even get that as well. Kind of manifesting for it. And I love today. This is exactly what I talked about with my friend last night. We talked about a lot of stuff, and I told him, I did this before, and then Sean taught me to do it this way, and then I did this before, and then I met Sean, and I did this, and then this and that, so on. And he was like, "Wow, man, that guy, he knows his stuff." And I was like, "Yeah." But he was fascinating, and we really had a fascinating conversation because I think the more I think about it, the more I become more certain that this is what it's all about. And
What is
I
this? What's this? What is the this?
this playing the game, man. This signal stuff, how you talk, how you walk, how you address people, how you address yourself, how you dress, how you look to yourself. Do you look presentable? Do you do you love looking at yourself? And we always talk about how it's tough to watch your own recordings or voice notes or whatever, like listen to your own voice. And it can get real frustrating at times. And the more I think about it, the more I become more certain, like I said, that this is what it's all about. And if there's anyone on this green earth that I owe my thanks to, is you for teaching me how to play the game. How to talk to people, how to talk to myself, even more importantly, how to address people, how to leave them. Because this is what I noticed. Ever since we started working on this mastermind this year, I noticed that people kind of gave up on calling me nuts. I can see it in their face. They still think about it. I mean, they still think about this guy's nuts, but they don't say it anymore. And I know, and you know what? I noticed that people in my immediate vicinity, people that are closest to me, that are often naysayers, and they don't kind of see the picture I'm building. They definitely don't see the vision. They gave up on nagging and being the naysayer and being the party boomer. So kind of, they're like, okay, so this guy's not gonna quit. So I might as well just support him. And that's, in my humble opinion, because of the fact that you taught me how to play the game and how not to give in to pressure. So thank you for this lesson today. Thank you for the overall stuff we've done over the years. And I'm going off to Romania tomorrow. So hopefully, by this time next week, you're going to be rocking your brand new shirt and having a new place to put down your thoughts in. So thank you.
I love it. And the cool thing about being able to play the game is understanding the rules. And the rules are what Epictetus said. Epictetus, the Stoic, said, for those of you with desire, put it on a shelf. Until such time you realize what's within your circle of influence and what's outside your circle of influence, what you have control over and what you don't have control over. And once you determine what that is, go back, pick up your desire, because you'll never have another bad day. That's 2,000-year-old history. That's 2,000-year-old wisdom. And that's what you've decided. You're not allowing things you have no control over to affect the things you do have control over. And some people call that ego or self-centered or this, that, or the other. Yet your signal of leadership says, hey, I love living my dream. If you want to live yours, I can guide you. I can show you. You've got to decide to own it. The reality is you've decided to own your moments as opposed to letting them be controlled by something or someone else. And that's where people can't understand the language. You are now speaking leadership, self-leadership versus community fellowship. So congratulations. That's a huge step. Love it, love it, love it. Hey, let's go to California. Good morning, Silka.
Good morning, Sean. How are you?
I'm outstanding.
Oh,
Show my shirt says it.
oh my God, it's new. Did you get at Walmart?
No, somebody sent this to me probably a year or so ago. I forget who sent it. My apologies. And if you're on the call and sent it, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, it's amazing. It's definitely you.
Yes.
So yes, I totally 100% agree. You have to know how to play the game.
Yes.
Your entire life literally is the game. So, how do you figure out how to play the game when people sit on the fence?
Well, you got to decide what game you're in. And here's what I mean by that. When I built my organizations and when I was on the executive side, there's more people that sit on the fence in the executive and energy of a company. And then when you are an executive, when you go out into the field to do trainings or to go meet with leadership and do the top leader conversations, there are fence sitters beyond people who are in the company are fence sitters.
Well, yes, certainly, but that's not the fence
right.
sitters I'm talking about. I'm talking about specifically the fence sitters that say, oh, I love this opportunity. I'm going to sign up, but they don't.
Right.
That's exactly the type of people that I'm talking about. So how do you knock down the fence to get them off? That's specifically what I'm saying. It's a game,
Sure. No, I
certainly.
get it. I get
But
it.
how do you trigger in their brain that they are moved to get off the fence?
Right.
Or how can you knock the fence down so they have to get off, literally? I mean,
Yep.
there's different ways of certainly moving people off a fence.
If you're going to play the game with me, there's no fence. And what I mean by that, my signal, because I'm going to come across fence sitters all the time. So we have to have some polarization. And the way you get rid of the fence is you polarize it.
Okay, so how do you do that?
So the way you say that is, hey, listen, I meet a lot of people who want to do something but don't wind up doing it. You ever know somebody like that? So you're taking the pressure away. But if they know somebody like that, they're typically, whenever you have that conversation as a professional presenter and you're a professional presenter, when you use language like that and you take away the blame, you're creating the third party enemy of fence sitting. You make fence sitting the enemy. Not that they're on a fence. You don't want to point out that they're on a fence. You make fence sitting the enemy of success. You know how people sometimes say, man, I really want to do it, but they butt themselves in life. Have you ever seen the butt fence? And you talk about that. The butt fence, the BUT fence and the BUTT fence. People sit on it and it keeps them from taking action. What would you say? And you ask them, I literally ask them, what would you say to somebody in your life that they're on a fence, you see they're on a fence, and you know that that fence isn't serving them? What would you say to them? And they give you the presentation.
They give you the presentation?
They say, well, what I would tell them is you got to make a decision. And then all I do is go, so is it okay for you to decide to not sit on a fence in this conversation? Yes or no, either way is fine. But I'm not going to let you sit on a fence. I'm not going to let you use but, B-U-T, and I'm not going to let you sit on your B-U-T-T. You got to get off the fence. Life is passing you by. Listen, let me ask you this. You know that story about a penny? If you doubled it every day, would you rather have $1 million or a penny doubled for 30 days? What if this was day 29? And tomorrow you could have $1 million opportunity in your hands. The challenge is usually we can't see it. And you know why we can't see it? because it's on the other side of the fence that you're sitting on. I just need to know when you're ready to get off the fence. Either way is fine, yes or no, but maybe and this is how you've heard me explain. Hey, listen, we're going to have a conversation today. Can you say yes? And I literally ask them, can you say yes? Say yes. Yes. Could you say no? No. Awesome. Here's what I'm not going to let you say. Maybe. That's not going to be, can we agree that maybe is not an end to this conversation? Yes is fine. No is fine. Maybe is not fine. It's not fine for you. It's definitely not fine for me.
You actually say that to people?
Absolutely. Because otherwise I show up on a morning call frustrated, aggravated, going, how the hell do I get people off the fence? I did that with my mentor. He goes, stop letting them sit on the fence.
Well, see, that's exactly where I am at this morning.
So stop letting them sit on the fence. You as the presenter, you as the leader, you as the one they want to follow is allowing them to sit on the fence. And the way you say you got to get off the fence is, hey, listen, how does fence sitting serve anyone? I'm curious. And they'll get their feathers will get ruffled. What do you mean fence sitting?
Now, can you message that to somebody, or do you have to talk to them?
Yeah, no, you could say, hey, listen, I know fence sitting doesn't work for anybody. I just need to know if you're ready to climb over the fence. I don't believe you're fence sitting, but when are you ready to climb over the fence and jump into the new opportunity, jump into the new energy, jump into the new solution? Yes or no? That's it. Maybe I'm not ready or this out of it. That's a no. So yes or no. Either way, I'm fine. The other thing is, here's something that it's powerful. It is a nuclear bomb in its simplicity. It's 6 words. Have you given up on this? That's it. And the gentleman who is the negotiator, Chris Voss, How to Never Negotiate and Win. That is the most dynamic nuclear response you can send in a text. And if people aren't responding to your emails and they're not responding to your texts, that one statement, soon as they read it, it will trigger a response in their brain that they will respond. As soon as they read it, they'll respond within a minute. They'll tell you F off or I'm ready to go.
Oh, that's good. So I can easily send that. That's short and right to the point.
Have you given up on this?
Do you use their name first or last?
No. Those 6 words, you don't even use their name. They know who it's from and they know who it's to.
Well, yes, certainly they should know who it's to.
Yep.
It's written to them to them.
Yep.
Okay, so you don't use the name or
Nope.
anything.
Have you given up on this? That's it. Not dear Bob, hey, I'm checking in. Have you given up on? No, you want to set the frame. And the frame is, have you given up on this? And the window is their response, how they saw the presentation, how they see themselves. You will get an immediate response.
Interesting. And how do you follow that up? If they say, no, I haven't. Okay, so let's pretend.
Yep.
Let's play the game. They say, no, I haven't. And that's all they respond to.
Excellent. What does going forward look like?
Okay.
Because if there's no forward, you've given up.
Right.
Right. So what does going forward look like?
What? I'm writing this.
Yep.
Because otherwise, I'm not using your exact words. And I think that's very powerful to use your exact words. Excellent. What does going forward look like? Right?
Yep.
All right. And then they have to, then the ball is back in their court and
Yep.
they're going to have to respond with, okay, so let's pretend they say, well, I'm going to sign up tomorrow.
Excellent. What time?
Okay.
All I want is clarification. They're giving me a 10,000 foot view. I want a 3-foot view. My response should be to take away the delay, to take away the space.
What if they tell you, I don't know?
So you've given up on the project. You're a smart person. I would say you're a smart person. You know. Don't worry about hurting my feelings. Either yes or no, I'm okay.
So you wouldn't say so you have given up on the project. You would just say you know.
Yeah, you know. I would say, you know, you're a smart person and leave it at that.
Yes, because people like to be smart.
Yes. And if you agree with their I don't know, you are confirming you think they're dumb.
I'm sorry, I missed that. What did you say?
So if you say, well, okay, let me know. If you confirm their I don't know, you're confirming they're dumb. And nobody you speak to is dumb.
No.
Nobody you speak to is stupid. And when we let people off the hook with I don't know, that's why I come up with, no, you probably don't know. But if you did know, what would you say? And they always come up with an answer.
Yes, because then they feel like they've been taken out of the equation. So
Yep.
then yes, so then they think they're gonna answer smart.
Yes.
I'm getting to understand. But your brain, I really need your brain. Like literally every second of the day. I'm glad you find that so humorous because it's a struggle. Because I think black and white and I just say whatever I have to say, but it doesn't move people. And even not just me is having this problem. I can see that now because other people are having the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm feeling there is a disconnect. And many people I talk to is don't know them very well. I've been maybe some of these people I've been friends with on Facebook for years, but I hardly ever talk to them or maybe never talk to them. So that may have some to do with it, certainly. But it doesn't seem to matter uh, who the person is, literally. People will still stay on the fence unless there is something that moves them.
Right.
Why do you think, I mean, honestly,
Sure.
why do you think people, and I know it's a large amount of people, not a small amount of people,
Yep.
have such a difficult time making a quick decision? What do they think to gain by waiting a long time? If I want to do so, if I know I want to do this, I'm going to do it. So it's very difficult for me to understand. There must be something inside of them that is not firing correctly.
Right. They suck at sales.
Well, they don't. I
No,
do
no,
then.
no, they do because here, well, we falter in the fact that we can't give them enthusiasm. Sales is the transference of enthusiasm. And the
Yes.
reason they delay in their decision is because they can't get excited about changing their identity. No matter what they do, if I shop at Target, if I go to Walmart and I go to the I don't know what they call it, the cash grocer, I guess it's called cash grocery. There's another grocery store. If I go there, somebody's going to go, where'd you get this? I got it at cash grocery. Oh, what'd you go there for? It's a whole new story. We play this story out of how people are going to see us, perceive us, and talk about us. We are so concerned about our identity and our reputation. And the reason is because we don't have one to begin with. Most people don't have a reputation. If most people, when you ask about them, what do you think of Tommy? Well, it's nice. Spaghetti is nice. No, I don't ever want to be described as nice.
Oh, that's funny you saying that. I have a friend who's a man, and he often has been looking for a woman, I mean, for years. And so he would start going out, and I would say, "Oh, so how is your girlfriend?" And he would say, "She's nice," and I'd be like, "Nice? Is that really what you're looking for in a relationship? She's nice. I mean, is there no excitement?" I would go, "Yeah, I totally get what you're saying, because I would like be shocked. It's nice. You can say the mailman is nice, maybe,
Right.
but depending on the relationship, it was so weird to me when he was saying that. I'm like, well, that seems very disconnected. Oh, she's nice. I mean, many people are nice.
So imagine, what do people say about your presentation? And nice is an easy way for
I don't
people
know.
to,
I have not given a presentation.
right, but what would you say about it? Is it exhilarating? Is it enthusiastic? Or it's the
I
kind
mean,
of,
I have not given a presentation in the last week,
right.
but my presentations are usually very energetic, but sometimes people don't like them. They think they're too over the top, they're too energetic.
Okay,
Because some people are not as energetic as me. So they kind of maybe get put off by my energy. I
so
never I never realized that. But sometimes over the years people have told me that there's some people just simply couldn't relate to me. And that's normal, I guess.
well,
I mean,
it's normal until your leadership skills fine tune so that you can be the chameleon. So the people that it definitely wasn't you overwhelmed were not in your signal group.
yes, yes. I
So
get
the
that. They
question
were
then,
not my people.
right? Well,
Yes, I understand that now.
so the question then becomes, does everybody deserve a chance to be your people? Because if I stay in my signal, if I stay in my leadership, my alchemist, that this language is easy. Could you imagine if I walked around and said, everybody is stupid who doesn't understand how to speak to people. I would have a very, very, very small group of people I talk to who we wouldn't benefit from because we understand how to communicate to humans. So I know that there is a large percentage of the population I'm about to go have a conversation with that doesn't understand basic language communication and understanding that for every give, there's a response. And the response isn't what I think it is, it's how they think it is. So now I have to shift my ability to understand what vibration are they coming from so that I can literally speak their language. We talk about polyglots, speaking more than one language, German, French, English, Spanish.
Yes.
Are you a human polyglot? Do you understand how to speak to every human you're about to go have a conversation with to leave them better than you found them? The answer for the majority of 99% of the population is no, they do not. They have a nice conversation to where nobody was offended and you didn't point out my faults and I won't point out your faults. When you know for a fact that you can start to read people and understand people and let them teach you, that's why I ask questions. That's how I learn so much, is I ask questions. Teach me. I will be your student, but I came to you to be led. Oh, I can lead you once I know what kind of collar you like on.
It's like a dog.
Yes, like a horse, right? You know this. Okay, so tell me this. Are there different bits that different,
Yes,
yes,
because they have different mouth. Some of them have
so
soft mouth. I didn't know that either. I've learned all this. I really didn't know much about the horse besides getting on and riding it when I was a teenager. I've learned a lot. Yeah, oh my God. And they
so
are such large animals when you think, but they are literally so sensitive.
So think about that. Next time you go to have a conversation, what kind of bit are you going to present? What kind of bit would they take so you could lead them? The reins, listen, I have no idea how much a bit and a bridle system cost,
I
but I
don't
bet
either.
you can spend 1,000 or you can spend 10,000.
Oh, yeah, you can. Well, and you can maybe spend a little bit, like less
Right.
than 100. I
Sure.
don't know. So,
So
yeah, I
my
haven't
point
bought
is
any.
that I would offer you the mental image of, you're about to go have a conversation with somebody. Imagine you need to ask some questions to them so that you can go to your tack room of presentations and pull out the right bit for them, that when you speak to them, they wind up putting it in their mouth and you can easily lead them. And the bit is comfortable. And the bit is the way you present the comp plan and the leadership and the time and the energy and the effort and how much money it costs. That's all the bit. That's all the things that they need you to lead them with. But if you put a hard bit in a soft mouth, they ain't going nowhere.
But how do you know that ahead of time? I mean,
You
with
ask
the horse,
questions.
you also don't. With the horse, you don't know. You have to try different ones
True.
sometimes, and because they'll let you know by acting out. I guess it's the same. People do the same thing. If you approach them the wrong way, they get angry,
Right.
or they're receptive if you reached out to them the way they like to be reached out to. So yes, but how do you like figure that out?
So
If
so
you know you are reaching out to a lot of people in a short time, that's usually the issue.
if you get anybody who shows interest, right? You go, oh, I want to be read. I want you to ride me, right? We're talking about horses. I want you to take me out to the pasture. I want you to put me in the round pen. You then ask the question, hey, listen, are you more auditory or are you visual or do you like to read?
Funny, I asked those first two questions lots of times of my students because it will depend
You
how I
already know
teach
this
them.
stuff. That's what I get so frustrated because you use it where it works, and then you're like, well, but nobody said I could do that over here. Do what works, my love. You are brilliant. You do this. You're a trained teacher. Ask people, do you like to read or do you like to listen? Do you like read, listen, right? Those are the three things we can have influence on long distance. We don't have any influence on touch or smell or taste. So do you like to read? Do you like to watch videos or do you like to hear audience? Which is the best way for you to receive information? That's the bit.
Yes, because otherwise my students, if they are visual learners, it's not going to help for me to just tell them. They're
Yep.
going to need to go and they're going to need to look it up and they need to actually see it in order to be able to remember it.
Yep.
Yes, and I have found over the years that there's very few auditory learners.
Right.
But if they are a real auditory learner, they will not take any notes, and it's amazing what they remember.
Yep.
And that blows me away because I'm not that way.
So here's the thing. You
So,
have
but
your
how do I? Yes, I guess I box different things. I have the skills to ask that, but I guess I would have never asked that for this business. Yes, it's second nature when you teaching somebody, especially a language or anything. I think to ask that. I've learned to ask that. Interesting.
so what you
Very interesting.
so what you might say is, listen, I've kind of found it successful in my German teaching. When I teach my German students, I ask them what's the best way they want to learn. So
yeah, how do they learn?
right, I ask them the best way of how they want to learn. So I know that works for them and I use it in my business. So I'd like to ask you, how do you like to learn? Is it auditory? Is it visual? Do you like to read? Do you like videos? What's the best way? How have you found it easiest to receive information, good information?
That is a really good question because so many people try to always shove videos down my throat, and
Yep.
we know I hate the videos because I mean, in a real business, people don't shove videos down your throat. This is a tool. Certainly, I understand in this industry, this is a tool because we figure many people can't speak, so we just have them give out videos.
Right.
But for me, I get very offended. Literally, if when somebody says, "Here's a video," especially when it's long.
Right.
If it's 2 minutes, okay, maybe. But yeah, so it's funny how I can see it now why am I not seeing it when I'm sitting in it?
Well, this is why you need somebody
You,
outside of the
I
forest.
like that you get so entertained by me.
I do.
And
I love it. Well, the reason it's so funny is because you already know all this stuff, and you're like, oh my gosh, it was right there. Listen, here's the funny thing: you're going to start giggling when you start to have the conversations with people, and they see what's right in front of them. You'll giggle as well. You'll be going, they'll be going, what? It was always right there, wasn't it? I know that because I go through that every day with my mentor. And I still have those conversations with my mentors. And I'll be like, son of a biscuit, it's right here. They go, it can't be anyplace else. God dang it. Tick me off.
wow. Yes, I need to speak with you more often so I can what is it called? Uh I I'm at a loss for words. I mean transfer the information that you hold in your brain into my brain. I think that's probably the best description. There may be a word for it.
Osmosis, transference by osmosis. If I just hang
Well,
around you enough, it'll sink into my brain.
yeah, there should be a way to for you to teleport your thoughts without having to be contacted. Can you imagine if you could do that? You could make billions.
I'm working on it.
That you could transfer, knowing, okay, that you could know I'm needing this information right now, and that you are teleporting it right in my brain, and I got it, and I'm putting it out there. That would be just like epic.
I'm working on it.
You're working. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to go and use the six word sentence now
Yep.
because this is exactly the perfect thing I needed.
Good.
So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I know you foaming at the mouth to to find out what the person responded, and I will certainly let you know. But before I go, I wanted to say one more thing. You posted the picture of Ainsley yesterday.
Yes.
Oh, she does not look anything anymore like the little tiny baby that I was holding.
They grow up quick. And because they're so small when they're fully grown, it doesn't take them long to get to fully grown. It's the
So
funniest
is
thing.
she fully grown now?
No, she's probably got another 4 months, and then a year old, they're probably their full size.
How much does she weigh now?
She probably weighs 30 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
little because I've worked so hard on the grass and getting and irrigating and all of this stuff. There's all of this grass, and we can easily move them. They're just little fat piggies. They're just it's the greatest thing when you go and you pet them, and there's just these big grass bellies. It's so cute.
But maybe she looks bigger in the picture than she is.
No, she's that big. Because I'm sitting down, and me sitting down from my where my butt is, I have a long torso. She's right here. She's a and Nola, her mama, was right here. So there's not that much difference.
So do you still pick her up?
Oh yeah.
You do pick her up?
Yeah. I do that so that they know that if I ever have to pick them up to do something, they don't freak out or kick me. So
Oh, they kick.
well, they'll get anxious, and you know how dogs sometimes their legs.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, I know this exactly because Lola is that way.
Yep.
It is she's very funny. She doesn't like to be held for a very long time unless there's other people and dogs around what she's scared of.
Right.
Then you can hold her forever, but otherwise she gets like she starts moving the feet and leg like crazy and she wants right down. So
Yep.
I know exactly what you're saying. And the sheep do that as well?
Yes. Exactly.
Oh wow. Yeah, she's so cute. That video where I'm holding her, I just love that. That was like the very first time I've ever held a little lamb. So,
Aw.
well, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. I think other people are getting bored. So I want to be sure everyone else but maybe, you know, they can feel the love of the little lamb.
Yes.
Maybe that's just what they needed this morning. I don't know.
Exactly.
But I
think
want
so.
to give other people a chance to also speak this morning. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I love you very much. And I love all of you very much.
Thank you, Selke. Anyone else? Last thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways? Aw, there's a Diane Sweeney hearts flying up the screen. How cool is that? Technology's awesome, isn't it? Tomorrow, if somebody's waiting to ask a question, please feel free to. Tomorrow, when we get on the Zoom, I'm going to have us go to a new page so that we can do it all while we're live. And so because it's another Zoom room, this page is going to be going away. This link is going to be going away. So we will probably still be going to unlearnme.live. So that will still be the same, but it'll take you to my Sean G. Murphy site with my own Zoom page that will look like this with all of the different links for you and the mastermind conversations and everything. So it'll look the same, but it'll be a different web address. So we'll work on that tomorrow so that this particular, the OBI.VO or whatever it is, IVO, this page will be going away and we'll be going to the SeanGMurphy.com/probably Zoom, but the URL will be unlearnme.live, the same one we use all the time. So that'll be a little bit of tomorrow. Is tomorrow Friday? Yeah, tomorrow's conversation, the 4th. So, who else? Any last thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways before we head out of the park?
We are moving, not we are moving. We are meeting for 4th of July.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just
Yeah.
wanted to be
Sure.
clear that you remembered that tomorrow was the amazing holiday of independence.
Well, the question is, you know, a lot of people, well, do they have 4th of July in Europe? No.
No.
Yeah, they do. It's still the July 4th. It's just not the Independence Day. But
Well, it's not a holiday. Yes,
Right.
of course. Yes.
The joke is, do they have July 4th? And yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is definitely funny. But okay, I just want to make sure. And
Yeah.
you said, and you said there will be a new link.
Well, we're going to come to this page. We're going to log in here where we normally do. So
Okay.
from this page, so that I have everybody and I can wrap my arms around you and somebody's going, I get text, 1,000 texts. I'm going to give it to you all. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to show you where to go on a screen share, and then we'll end this room and we'll go talk over there. And then we'll be able to have, I want to make sure everybody can get in, because the first time things can screw up. So I just want to make sure we do it together as a group, because I owe that to you. I don't want anybody to get lost or go, I can't get in, and everybody so tomorrow come here as normal, and then I'll share with you, and I'll share the link and show you the screen and where to look at and what it looks like. And so when you get there, you're like, oh, this is simple. Click.
Got it. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, my little leadership Eagles. I hope you have an amazing Thursday. Happy pre-July 3rd. If you're having fireworks in your area, enjoy them. Be safe. I'm your head brain training. Let's go have some fireworks Thursday. I'll see y'all where?
At the next event.
At the next event. Somebody give me some Costa Ricas.
Pura vida.
Pura vida.
Pura vida. And some Lydia.
Peace be with us all.
Be with us.
Be with us all. And the queen of helping you find your fireworks, Jessie Lee Ward.
Bosley.
Bosley, we love you, girl. And some white, fluffy.
Gurgly, gurgly, gurgly.
Gurgly, gurgly, gurgly.
We love you, Fleet. All right, everybody, go have some fun. We'll see you all tomorrow morning right here. Come back here, right to this page. See you there. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. I love you all.
Thank you.